One of the narratives that I most hate in competitive Madden is that players who run the football are less than players who throw the ball every down. The truth is, the players who believe in that narrative just don't want to admit that they have not labbed the game on that particular level like players who run the football. In particular, today's video, we're going to talk about one of the easiest run concepts that you guys can call upon against the gap shoot that everybody uses in Madden. And to be honest, who's putting in more lab work? What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel, and you guys have all seen this gap shoot. This is one of the most popular gap shoots in Madden 22, regardless of what defense you run. The nickel 2-4-5 odd or any type of 4-down lineman defense, you can line up in this special spot and gap shoot most runs. Now, that is the extent of a lot of players' run defense as it pertains Madden 22. And the truth is that if you have a counter to this particular gap shoot, a lot of defenses will fall apart because they simply cannot stop the run. And this ends with a lot of players online talking about their opponent running and praying, and the truth is that those players just haven't labbed the run game and don't understand the offensive line defensive line interactions and how gap shoots actually work. They probably just watched one of their favorite YouTubers or Twitch players and copied that gap shoot in their defense. Let's go ahead and show you guys exactly what that gap shoot is if you guys have never seen this before. So in that little clip that I just showed you, the typical run that most players tend to call out of their offense is the inside zone. And whether you're in the nickel 2-4-5 odd or any other type of defense, as I've mentioned, you can pretty much line up in this position. It's something that a lot of players do. They also tie this exact same gap shoot to their pressure, which is why the 2-4-5 odd is so popular. So what a lot of players will do is they'll call pinch two, they'll base a line, they'll press, and then they'll take their user and they'll kind of stand opposite the running back. And then they're just, when the ball's snapped, going to fly in and make a tackle like you see right there. Now, this is also something that a lot of players like to do because what they can do with this is if you pass and go 5 out, or sometimes even if you block the running back, you will notice that this is actually a pretty solid blitz as well, where it comes in off the edge and your opponent has to make a quick decision. So this is why the 2-4-5 odd is the most popular defense in Madden. Furthermore, this exact same gap shoot applies to pretty much any other defense in Madden. If you were to just go ahead and put your user kind of in this random spot right here and fly in through the B gap, you'll notice that the gap shoot is fairly consistent throughout the game. You can also apply this to other defenses like dollar, 4-3 wide 9, nickel normal. You guys get the drift. It is a very, very simple gap shoot. You basically just line up in this spot, and if they run inside zone, you fly in through the B gap and nobody blocks your user. And like I said, if players run this as their main gap shoot, they oftentimes will be lost if they come up against a run concept that gives this trouble, which is what we're going to talk about right now. So with this particular concept, you'll notice that it does tend to stop a lot of runs like inside zone, base, but one that it's actually really, really weak against is the inside zone split. And the reason for the inside zone split being so effective is that you actually have this tight end that blocks across the formation. Now, there are different inside zone splits from different formations. One of my favorite concepts is the X nasty, but we're also going to break down another inside zone split out of the tight Y off single back as well. And I'll also go ahead and add in, you can go into your concepts, go to run, go to inside zone, and look for other inside zone split style runs, whether that be from the shotgun or under center, whatever you're personally comfortable with. So I'll throw in a inside zone split out of the, let's go ahead and do a shotgun formation here. So we'll stick with the gun doubles Y off. And what we're going to do here first and foremost is kind of show that this is a concept that you guys can fall back on against this gap shoot. So when you see somebody kind of offsetting their user, maybe they, go stand over here, what they're trying to do is say, you're not running inside zone, I will gap shoot that if you do. But the truth is that the tight end that pulls across the formation in this particular blocking scheme is going to be the one that is responsible for kicking out that player. So I'm just going to try to gap shoot against this, and you're going to see that that tight end chips that user. Now, of course, sheds can occur in other areas. You still are using block shed versus the run block footwork or run block finesse, RBF rating of the player that is blocking on the play. So there is potential for other positions to be able to shed. However, the gap shoot element of these defenses, the one that so many players rely upon, is going to be shut down. Now, from this standpoint, you take a look at this formation. This is just a numbers issue. You notice that they blitz the edge and nobody's there to block him. So we're going to solve that real quick. So what I was talking about just a moment ago was the inside zone split out of an under center set, like maybe the X nasty or the single back tight Y off. So let's go ahead and go back into that exact type of play and show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to run the pinch 2 meta. And we'll start off with the single back bunch X nasty, which if you guys are interested in my offense, I've been running this for 10 months. I've been running it all year since it got patched into the game early on in the first patch. I have this offense down to a science, whether it's the run, the quick passing game, the play action game, the one play touchdowns, all kinds of different elements, flipping the nickel corner, being able to do a lot of different audible tricks with this formation. It's something that I've really championed this year, and it's a lot of fun. If you guys are looking for an offense to kind of freshen up Madden for the last, 2 or 3 months of the game, look no further than my X Nasty. You guys can find that on gridirongameplans.gg. But let's talk about the inside zone split here from under center. So you notice here with this particular defense that we now have a compressed look. And with this style of run, you see when I go to do this gap shoot, it actually blocks it up real well, almost to the point where we didn't even need the tight end across the formation. Now, of course, some players will flip their 2-4-5 odd differently. They may line up like this. Again, the same principle can be applied right here. You see how it's just kicking that user out, whether the guard picks him up, whether the tight end goes into that gap and clears him out of the area. You're going to be in a spot where you're pretty well set off. So again, here when we run this, sometimes you'll see this where they leave the linebackers in the gap. Sometimes this can result in a free runner. But again, you see right here, there is just a giant lane up the middle for us to run against this. It really does screw up that gap shoot. Now, of course, you can also, if you're having trouble blocking this up, go into a more evenly based offensive look. So this is a 2x2 compression where your opponent really isn't going to know exactly what side the run is going to go to. So you take a look right here. I'm running it like this. If I flip the run, you'll notice that it goes back the other direction. So depending on what side they're gap shooting from, you can flip this run very, very easily, which is nice. But let's go ahead and stick with the run over to the right side here on this. Again, when we go to gap shoot this, you see that the tight end cuts back across, kicks the user out. They're going to have to make some really Super Saiyan type of diving animations to be able to stop this run. Now, I'll take you another level in. I wasn't planning on doing this in this video, but if we were to kind of talk about some one-play touchdown elements with this, what's really, really cool is that we can actually kind of set up some bomb style plays off of this. We've got this sliding tight end. You notice that in the bunch X nasty, we have a play called PA post dig. This actually mimics the inside zone split blocking scheme within the play action. Now, you don't have to use the slide block by the tight end if you don't want to, but it is there available to you just to kind of window dress it or make it look like the run play. And that's one of the elements of my offense is I try to make everything look the same. Every motion I use has a passing complement or a run complement to it. In this case, we're using play action, kind of playing chess with our opponent here in this regard. So when they go to this, you'll notice that we can actually set up a one-play touchdown. Now, with this, I'm not going to gap shoot because it is in fact a pass play. So I'm just going to click off right here. But with this particular style of play, we can actually kind of go to a max protect and look for the one-play touchdown down the middle. So you see right here how this works. We've got this post that we can set up off a play action. And if they don't have a middle third on the field, this is going to be a complimentary one-play touchdown that looks just like our slide concept. Again, you see the tight end in this play. He slides across the formation from the right to the left, and it looks the exact same as the inside zone split. Now, this is a max pro play. After this, we got a 7-man protection. We pick up the blitzing slot corner. We've got a nice little triple team. Well, 3-on-2 on the backside edge. We've got a nice pocket to climb here. We use the corner to pull the deep half on the left side, and that opens up a giant pocket in the middle of the field to split this cover 2 and rip our post for the 1-play score. So you see how I'm able to complement my run game with a 1-play touchdown element that looks exactly like the run concept that we were wanting to set up. And this is all the elements that I tried to work into my offense. So I wanted to show you guys this. I know a lot of players struggle with dollar. They struggle with 2-4-5 odd. Basically these, you know, DB fire style blitzes where they're kind of pouring in off the edge and gap shooting. This is a perfect run and play action pass complement that can give your opponent a lot of trouble and then open back up the rest of your offense. So whether you're in the X nasty or whatever offense you like to run, heck, even some of the gun bunch offenses have inside zone split, you guys ought to be using this run concept against this popular meta. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below. Always want to hear what you guys are talking about. If you guys want more of this type of content, go to my strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. No better time to sign up than right now. You guys can get everything I've done all year long on the website for $9.95. Go sign up. We'll see you guys in our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.